everybody. Welcome to Pit Stop with Traffic Jam Jimmy. Today I'm at one of the favorite places in the whole, not just Maryland, the whole United States of America. I'm in historic Ellicott City in Howard County in Maryland, and who better to have with you at Howard County than the Howard County executive himself, Mr. Calvin Ball joins me this morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy, and good morning, all.
So let's talk a little about this historical street we're going up right now.
Well, this is historic Main Street, one of the greatest main streets in the country, where you can not only visit the past, enjoy the present, but think about the future.
Wow, and a couple weeks ago, you actually had a ribbon cutting down here, dude. What happened there?
Well, we cut the ribbon on a newly renovated caboose at the B&O Railroad Museum, one of the greatest railroad museums in the country, and on the log cabin that was washed away during the flooding, but as an example of resilience and unity, we brought it back.
Well, this street right here, if we show the old footage of the flood we're growing up now, it's unbelievable what it looked like just a couple of years ago. And they called that the 100-year flood, and then 2 years later, it repeated itself.
Yeah, well, it actually was considered a 1,000-year flood, but it just goes to show that around not just our state, our country, our world, we're seeing the increasing intensity and frequency of weather events, and we got to be prepared.
Well, here's that log cabin you were talking about.
That's right. It's right there.
Oh, that is absolutely beautiful, like the town is. All right, now let's tell you what. I want to ask you a couple personal questions. I want to find out who Mr. Calvin Ball is. Where did you grow up at?
Well, my parents grew up in Baltimore City. I grew up in Baltimore County, and as I was growing up, my parents would always bring me out to Howard County and Columbia for the fireworks, and I knew that's where I wanted to raise my kids.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about Howard County is central Maryland, is Baltimore to the north and D.C. to the south, and Mr. Rouse in the 50s, 60s built up Columbia, and people probably work both places. Is that not true?
That's right. In Howard County, we got about a half of the folks going to the D.C. area and about a half of the folks going to the Baltimore area.
Well, and you know what else you have in Howard County? You have awesome schools, some of the best in the whole country.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We have one of the best school systems overall in the whole country, and we're going to continue working to make sure that it's the best school system for all.
There you go. Now, let's go to sports. You like them Ravens?
Well, I grew up a Baltimore Colts fan, and I've been a Ravens fan since they came, and I think about the black and purple each and every week.
There you go. Boy, you mentioned the old Colts. I love the Colts. And how about them Orioles?
Oh, man, I love them O's.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Also in Howard County here, we got a really nice place. It's called Merriweather Post Pavilion, where some famous concerts were throughout the last 50 years. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we've had everybody from the Stones to Jimi Hendrix, and we will continue having the best acts ever. And you know what? After this COVID experience, I hope we can go there and see a show together.
Oh, I would love that. Now, you talk about Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix performed the Star Spangled Banner in Woodstock at 69. But August 16th, I think, of 1968, he performed it the first time right there at Merriweather.
Yep, we have made history, and we're going to keep making history at Merriweather and Columbia, Ellicott City, and throughout.
Well, my special guest today has been Mr. Calvin Ball, the Howard County executive, and I sure appreciate your time, sir. Now, look, the guys behind me are like flashing their lights, so I guess that means you got to go back to work?
Hey, the people's business never stops, and I'm honored to serve.
All right, thank you, sir. Again, my guest has been Mr. Calvin Ball, Howard County executive. Thanks again, sir.
Thank you.
I want to thank Mr. Calvin Ball for joining me today. And now I'd like to do, it's fall or autumn. And it's a beautiful time. The middle of October in Maryland is just a beautiful time. And the trees, they change colors. And I'm driving out through the valley. Oh, somebody's skid wheels here, man. Somebody lit up the old car. But anyway, sometimes you got to get off the highways and out of the city and just take a nice country ride and see the scenery. And that's what I'm doing today. And, Maryland is like a mini America. And what I mean by that is it's got the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast, and out to the west we have the mountains. And we have all four seasons. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall. James Taylor, he sang about that. And it's just, we have beautiful farms and just beautiful scenery. And it's just a beautiful place to visit and just this time of year is one of my favorites. And I'm just sharing you a nice country ride to show you that. And you know, we have a lot of, down in Annapolis, our state capital, we have the Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy. And that's a beautiful place to visit. And also we have in Fort McHenry in Baltimore, the home of the Star-Spangled Banner. That's right, the War of 1812, in September of 1814, the British came up the bay and they burnt D.C. on the way up, but when they got to Maryland, they had a little more difficult time. And Francis Scott Key wrote that famous poem that became our national anthem. As you can see, the beautiful scenery here is just breathtaking at this time of year. And I'd like to close the program today by visiting a couple of my musician friends. And it's been a rough year for musicians because they haven't been able to perform at either clubs or bars or private gatherings. It's been a very tough time for them. And I visited Barry Prosser and my buddy Dennis Shockett, and they did a little music for me and a little jam session. And they created a little Traffic Jam Jimmy song. So the close of my program today, I'd just like to have everyone listen up. Good morning, everyone. I'm up here in Fallston, and up here with Dennis Shockett and Barry Prosser. And I tell you what, I had you guys on earlier, and I got a big response. You guys mind doing another song?
Not at all.
Sure.
All right, you want to do one?
We'll do a little traffic jam for you.
Little
All
traffic
right,
jam
you ready?
blues.
All right, take it away, fellas.
2, 3, 4, 1.
Hey, hey, Fox 45. Hey, hey, Fox 45. Hey, hey, the traffic jam Jimmy, all right. Hey, hey, we're talking Fox 45.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey, talking Fox 45. Hey, hey, get along. The traffic jam Jimmy. All right, come on, baby. All right.
Come on, Barry. Oh, yeah.
Oh, digging out that tater. I said, hey, hey, Fox 45. Loving these lyrics. I said, hey, hey, jamming on with the Fox 45. Oh, a traffic jam, Jimmy, we're coming to you live. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, on them all. Yeah, traffic jam Jimmy, help you make your ride. Traffic jam Jimmy, hanging out here in Boston, Maryland. Oh, on Fox 45, best TV station in the land. Hey, 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 with traffic jam Jimmy.